Hi, this is Heather Earles, and welcome to episode 19 of Urban Wisdom and Natural Living. Hey everyone, Heather Earles here. Thanks for coming on today's episode. This week, like every week, I'll be talking about natural living and healthy tips that will get you to rethink how you live and what products or habits you can easily change to better your life. So let's get started. Hey everyone, today's topic is going to be somewhat controversial, but I'm going to dive in anyway. So, topic is herbal remedies versus modern medicine. This topic is widely discussed and, as I said, somewhat controversial. Many people have different opinions about herbal remedies versus modern medicine and what the best course of action is. Everything from going all natural, somewhere in between, or using strictly modern medicine. In this podcast, I'm going to present the facts along with personal stories, and in the end, you can make your own mind up as a reader or as a listener of what you believe. This is not to push you in one direction or another. It's merely a way to explain the holistic point of view and compare health benefits. To start, I love natural approaches to health. You've probably realized that, and learning the benefits your body gets from using plants, fruits, spices, and vegetables. For thousands of years, families used and knew the benefits of herbal remedies and simple tinctures which nature provided. They knew about them by experimenting and using what was all around them. I read an article once that described how nature grew the type of plant where it might be needed. For instance, an herb that helps with broken bones and bruising is found on hillsides where one might fall and have such an injury as a broken bone. If you research this, it's really cool and amazing. For a large number of your herbs that grow in the wild, this is true. Ever heard of willow bark tea, for instance? It's the original form of aspirin, which I have personally made and used by peeling the willow bark off my tree and making a poultice. Natural remedies are everywhere. These are just two examples of how our Creator is a mastermind and knew we would need medicine, so provided it. Not only did he provide it, but he placed the plants where we would need it. In a way, it was kind of an idiot-proof way of helping mankind first find out how to use plants as herbal remedies / medicine. So although original medicine came from plants, like we talked about aspirin and the willow bark, other natural origins, we took shortcuts and added fillers and synthesized the natural components to keep up with the quantity of medicine that was needed. I feel that's when we also got rid of the quality. Today, so many medications are given without the doctors knowing what's wrong. Steroids are a perfect example. They try something which then produces side effects upon side effects, changing your body's chemistry, and that something might not even be what you need. I've personally experienced this when my son had a problem breathing. So after I took him to the doctor, they prescribed for him a steroid inhaler. I specifically asked if this would help, and the reply was, "I'm not sure, but let's give it a try." Well, that answer didn't leave me feeling very confident and or comfortable, especially considering the age of my child. So because I was not going to give my son something that might help, but might also make the problem worse because of the side effects of the medicine, I decided to take a different approach. Side effects are not something a person should overlook. Changing your body's chemistry is a big deal and not something you should ignore, because sometimes you just can't get it back to where it originally was when you're taking so many medications. So I would always pay attention to side effects, okay? Well, to finish the story about my son, I ended up using an oil diffuser when he was having a hard time breathing. This worked extremely well, and I was so thankful I could help him naturally and not give him steroids every day. All I did was just try another approach, okay? Now, you may think I'm not a fan of modern medicine, but that's not exactly true. I know some modern medicines have had great effects on healing people. Just take outbreaks of diseases, for instance.
okay? Treating each individual patient and their health should be the goal of every doctor, whether they are practicing modern medicine or are a holistic doctor. A lot of medications prescribed would not be needed if this was more of the standard. Doctors are busy and only allow so much time to see a patient. This has caused prescriptions to be given without the proper amount of time to decide what is actually wrong. Not all cases are this way, but there are a lot. Another thing our healthcare system could improve upon is telling and giving people information about nutrition and natural ways they can change their health before a prescription is prescribed. I have a big problem with this because they don't even do this. It's not even like it's a last resort. A lot of doctors don't even do this. So a prescription can cost a large amount of money, which might not even be necessary. Food, diet, exercise, they can all help enormously with your health issues without ever having to pop a pill. So here is a piece from Joslin Diabetes Center answering the question, can I treat diabetes without drugs? And they said if you have type 2 diabetes, many people can keep their blood glucose in a healthy range without medications, either oral diabetes medication or insulin injections. That is, if they lose weight and keep their weight down, are regularly physically active, and follow a meal plan that helps them keep portion sizes under control and helps them spread the amount of carbohydrates they eat at each meal throughout the day. So, that's just one example. Here's another piece that was written by Mayo Clinic describing how you can lower high blood pressure without taking medication. Now, they give 10 ways to control high blood pressure. I'm only going to give you about 5 of them here. And if you want to read the other 5, just go on my blog, heatherearles.com/herbal remedies versus modern medicine. Okay, but I'm going to give you the top 5. It says if you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, you might be worried about taking medication to bring your numbers down. Lifestyle plays an important role in treating your high blood pressure. If you successfully control your blood pressure with a healthy lifestyle, you might avoid, delay, or reduce the need for medication. So here again it says are the top 10. I'm only giving you 5 lifestyle changes you can make to lower your blood pressure and keep it down. So number 1, lose extra pounds and watch your waistline. Blood pressure often increases as weight increases. Being overweight also can cause disruptive breathing while you sleep, like sleep apnea, which further raises your blood pressure. Weight loss is one of the most effective lifestyle changes for controlling blood pressure. Losing even a small amount of weight, if you're overweight or obese, can help reduce your blood pressure. In general, you may reduce your blood pressure by about 1 millimeter of mercury, mmHg. With each kilogram, about 2.2 pounds of weight you lose. Besides shedding pounds, generally should also keep an eye on your waistline. Carrying too much weight around your waist can put you at a greater risk of high blood pressure. In general, men are at risk if their waist measurement is greater than 40 inches, which is 102 centimeters. Women are at risk if their waistline measurement is greater than 35 inches, which is 89 centimeters. These numbers vary among ethnic groups. You can ask your doctor about a healthy waist measurement for you or just research it. Okay, number 2, exercise regularly. Okay, regular physical activities such as 150 minutes a week, or about 30 minutes most days of the week, can lower your blood pressure by about 5 to 8 millimeters. If you have high blood pressure, it's important to be consistent because if you stop exercising, your blood pressure can rise again. Okay, I talk so much about consistency. You should exercise whether you have diabetes or not, though this exercise keeps your body in great shape, especially that recommended 30 minutes a day, okay? Some examples of aerobic exercise you may try to lower your blood pressure include walking, jogging, cycling, swimming, or dancing. You can also try high-intensity interval training, which involves alternating short bursts of intense activity with subsequent recovery periods of lighter activity. Strength training also can help reduce blood pressure. Aim to include strength training exercise at least 2 days a week. and talk to your doctor about developing an exercise program. Or you can get a personal trainer or just a friend that you know is brilliant at coming up with workout exercises. For instance, my sister is one of those. So if I need a new program, I just ask her to write me up one. Okay, number 3, eat a healthy diet. Eating a diet that is rich in whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and low-fat dairy products and skims unsaturated fat and cholesterol can lower your blood pressure by up to 11 mmHg. If you have high blood pressure, this eating plan is known as the dietary approaches to stop hypertension. Okay, it isn't easy to change your eating habits, but with these tips, you can adopt a healthy diet. Keep a food diary. Writing down what you eat, even for just a week, can shed surprisingly light on your true eating habits. Monitor what you eat, how much, when, and why. This is great, again, even if you're not struggling from diabetes, keeping a food journal. In 1 week's time, you can kind of just see when you go to munch something, just how many calories that adds up to be. Okay, consider boosting potassium. Potassium can lessen the effects of sodium on the blood pressure. The best source of potassium is foods such as fruits and vegetables rather than supplements. Talk to your doctor about potassium levels that's best for you. Also want to put in here, bananas are good for potassium, but potatoes are some of the highest or richest things for potassium you can get from a food. So just put some potatoes with your supper every night, okay? Be a smart shopper. Read food labels when you shop and stick to your healthy eating plan when you're dining out too. Don't just go overboard because you're going out to eat, okay? Number 4, reduce sodium in your diet. Even a small reduction in the sodium in your diet can improve your heart health and reduce blood pressure by about 5 to 6 mmHg. If you have high blood pressure, okay, the effect of sodium intake on blood pressure varies among groups of people. In general, limit sodium to about 2,300 milligrams a day or less. However, a lower sodium intake of about 1,500 milligrams a day or less is ideal for most adults. To decrease sodium in your diet, consider these tips. Read food labels. If possible, choose low sodium alternatives of foods and beverages you normally buy. Eat fewer processed foods. Only a small amount of sodium occurs naturally in foods. Most sodium is added during processing. Don't add salt. Just 1 level teaspoon of salt has 2,300 milligrams of sodium. Use herbs or spices to add flavor to your food instead. Ease into it. If you don't feel you can drastically reduce the sodium in your diet, suddenly cut back gradually. Your plate will adjust over time, just like anything. If you're trying to stop any kind of bad habit, whether it's food, drinking, whatever you're doing, right? A lot of people do a cold turkey and then they go back because it was too much. Just do little increments until it's down to the level that you need it to be, okay? So 5, limit the amount of alcohol you drink. Alcohol can be both good and bad for your health. By drinking alcohol only in moderation, generally 1 drink a day for women or 2 a day for men, you can potentially lower your blood pressure by about 4 mmHg. 1 drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of 80 proof liquor. But that protective effect is lost if you drink too much alcohol. As we all know, everything in moderation usually has a benefit. When you go overboard, it does not. Okay, drinking more than moderate amounts of alcohol can actually raise blood pressure by several points. It can also reduce the effectiveness of blood pressure. Okay, those were the top 5. Now there's 10. I'm just going to read the headlines of them. So 6 would be quit smoking. 7, cut back on caffeine. 8, reduce your stress. 9, monitor your blood pressure at home and see your doctor regular, or just keep an eye on it yourself. And 10, get support if you need it from family and friends. So if you find you need support beyond your family and friends, consider joining a support group. This may put you in touch with people who can give you an emotional or moral boost, and who can offer practical tips to cope with your condition. Sometimes you just need that encouragement from a friend. So these were 2 examples by as far as different clinics. Now here are a few of my personal examples on how to treat a condition without medication. And this is just general treatments, okay? For instance, I use garlic instead of antibiotics to cure earaches and infections. Garlic is also used as an anti-inflammatory. You don't get the side effects of the antibiotics, eating your good intestinal bugs, or the harsh chemicals found in your anti-inflammatory creams and pills. For a cancer preventer and to treat colds and detox the body, I use turmeric. To treat fungus, we use tea tree oil. Instead of harsh acne medications, we use apple cider vinegar. You just put it on a cotton pad, rub it on your face after you wash your face with your regular face wash, and boom, you're done. And also, you can use a turmeric mask, which I use often, like once a week. So for heartburn, I also use apple cider vinegar instead of an antacid, and it works within minutes. I'm telling you, like the only time I usually have heartburn is when I'm pregnant, and it'll take it away in less than a minute. If I just drink like one cup of Good Girl Moonshine, which is just a mixture of apple cider vinegar with some other things. Now, if a person has constantly tried herbal type remedies through poultices, food, diet, or by way of exercise, and their symptoms do not go away or become worse, then that's where modern medicine would come into play, not the other way around. I know multiple people and families, including my own, that rarely go into the doctor's office, not because we are against doctors, but because we use herbal remedies versus modern medicine to cure the majority of our family's illnesses. Why dump medication into your body when you can cure naturally? To me, that's not a question, but more of a statement. I'm happy to say there is a movement of people who want to get back to a more natural and healthy approach to life and medicine. This is amazing to see and to hear testimonies about how well they're working for people, and just the relief actually from the parents just knowing that they can help their child at home by doing natural cures. So we have people suffering and dying from autoimmune disorders across the country. With so many people being affected, it leads me to believe it's from our water or food supply. There can't be that many people affected without it being in something like that, okay? Processed foods are a killer, literally. But people get lazy and run out of time. We have gone away from homemade meals and growing a garden to buying everything from the stores, which have a lot of chemicals and unhealthy ingredients. I mean, most of unless you're getting organic and you know it's organic, all your grains are sprayed, okay? They're sprayed with herbicides, and none of that's healthy for your system. There's also soy, aspartame, and high fructose corn syrup. There's just a few of the horrible things that you can put into your body that are in everything. So hurry up and get left behind is the motto these days, but hurry up in health doesn't fit well in the same sentence. Sometimes you have to decide what's more important. You are what you eat. You are how you live. These quotes are so true. Your body will eventually reflect the time and strain you put in and on it. Do I get a prescription or try changing my diet using natural approaches first? Everything comes down to a decision, and no one can make it for you or your family but you. I want you to understand these are my opinions alone. Does eating healthy mean you'll never get sick? No. But if your body is healthy from the beginning, it will have a fighting chance. All right? What would it hurt for you to try a natural approach first? Even if you have cancer, as my sister and I have had, there's always a choice. My sister would have died without modern medicine, and I was able to use a natural approach. You need to do what you feel is best in the end. Some of this is, how far along are you and things like that. But remember, things such as cancer and autoimmune disorders, eating healthy is preventing some of those things from coming on. sometimes it's too late once you have them, but you want to keep eating healthy and doing these things that are good for your body to build up your immune system, to build up the attacks when, cancer cells are always in our bodies, but we can fight against them just by having a healthy diet. So that's what I'm talking about. So this article and podcast was to inform you of the difference between herbal remedies versus modern medicine, and that there is a natural approach to health, which I encourage you all to become more educated about. Staying healthy is the main goal, no matter which way you choose to do it. So again, it all comes down to a choice of how you want to live and what you want to put in your body. You guys, I hope you found this informational. I hope it makes you think kind of how you're living your life and what changes you can make to better it, and that you'll listen to it again. And if you know somebody who's suffering from diabetes or one of those, and you just know you could help them naturally to begin with. I mean, even if they decided to do a medication, they still should be on exercise, diet, and all of that. And I truly believe I've had friends who have not had to have any kind of medication because they have tried the herbal way and or just eating healthy and getting their numbers in order. So that's diabetes and high blood pressure. So there is hope for you out there, and you don't have to be afraid. You don't always have to jump for a medication. Try an herbal way first. Like I said, if what you've tried doesn't help, then go to your doctor and say, hey, get a medication after that. But again, it's all up to you. So I hope you didn't find it too controversial, but facts are facts. So have a great week.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Urban Wisdom and Natural Living. Tune in next week where I'll broadcast live every Monday morning at 8 a.m. If you miss it live, hold those tears and head on over to my blog, which is heatherearles.com. That's Heather, EARLES.com. There you can have 24/7 access or right here on iTunes. If you want to follow me on social media, you'll find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Have a healthy week.